Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are going to start to attach our pieces to our wreath. By the time you finish this tutorial you would have attached your balloons to your wreath and your heart. And then I actually say two things. One, if you want to wait a week we will be attaching the rest. Or two, if you are confident, you can attach the rest yourself. In the beginning, I have them laid out all on your piece for you. You will be starting from the top, and I keep mentioning it, I'll mention it again, you need a finger away from that line. That's our seam line that we sew the two pieces together. Pop your finger there and then you start creating, all right? I hadn't realized that this was going to take so long to pop on because I had to attach each piece to the other balloon. That balloon had to be attached to that had to be attached to that, and then we attached it to the piece, and then we popped the heart on. All right, so I'm not going to talk much now because it does go a long time. You will need your scissors, you will need your sewing needle, you will need safety pins if you're going to pin yours together, and I show you one or two. I don't really overdo the showing on that one, really, to be honest with you. If more, I showed you pretty much how to sew. I did put them on with the safety pin, but not as much as I did with the sewing. All right, so I'm not going to hold you up anymore, guys. I'm going to let you head off on your own and start attaching your pieces to the wreath. Good luck all. Alrighty guys, so as you can see here, it's kind of like a little bit of a disheveled mess. Okay, it does look like that right now. But firstly, what we're going to do is, if you are working the way I'm working, January was my birthday, so I made some balloons for the birthday. Now right in the middle here is where we're going to put our Christmas project at the end of the year. So kind of give yourself, oh sorry about that, my hand, kind of give yourself like a finger space worth. And then we'll attach our balloons this way. Right here I've got the two love hearts. Now why I've got two is because this one here is the one we created for the wreath. I'm finding it way too big. This is the one we created, I think a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I will actually pop the link to this one, the very first link you come to, in a description box down below. It's got a magnet. I'll take the magnet off and just sew around the smaller part of the heart, because now I'm able to move my butterfly over. Now, the heart was for Valentine's Day, the butterfly was for St. Patrick's Day, and then we had the Easter egg. So it now gives me more room for my Easter egg. We had our crown because the king was crowned. Now I don't know if you want to pop the Easter egg a little higher, the crown can go a little lower, or vice versa, Easter egg lower, crown can go higher. All right, and you know what guys, you can also put things down the side if you want, like that. You don't necessarily have to do it the same way as me, all right, but I'm going to do it this way. And then we had the scarf and the beanie, because between May and June it got really cold. And of course, as you know, last week my young Teddy passed, our pup that we've had for quite a few years now, and so I made a little bone to match. But directly opposite that line you want to keep free, because that's July. Okay, once we pop July here, that's the rest of the year. All right, I hope that makes sense. Now, it does look completely and utterly overcrowded. So if you want to pop yours a little bit higher, leave that heart even higher, drop the butterfly down. And another thing too, if you wanted to, you can attach your butterfly on the base if you like and have it sticking out. That's another way of doing it, which kind of gives you a little more, in fact I might even do that myself, a little bit more space to play with. All right, so I'm hoping that makes sense. And you've got that, and you've got what takes up room is the scarf and the crown. The scarf, beanie and crown take up a lot of room. All right, so there you go. That's pretty much, it's very overcrowded, but like I said, you can put some a little bit in different areas. Hope I'm in frame there. And you don't have to attach the whole thing. You can just attach that little bit and have everything sticking up if you want. Yours truly would like to actually sew everything down. Now that's me, okay? Now I'm looking to sew the crown down. You may have to pop him flat bang in the middle. Otherwise you're not going to be able to see the crown once you are looking at it from far away. All right, another thing with the scarf and beanie set, if you wanted to, you can pop that just up the top like so, because don't forget this is the base of your wreath, yeah, so it can be sewn just down there, right, and have the pom-pom sticking up, and your scarf can be there and your beanie, or you could do it like that and have the set sticking down like that if you like. Personally, I'm going to do it side by side, so whether or not I just attach it a little bit rather than attach the whole thing and have the pom-pom sticking up, because that actually does look rather cute like that, right? Or we could do it the other way where the pom-pom is up the top and your scarf is there, which is also quite pretty. It's entirely up to you. Remember, this is the way you're going to be looking at your wreath. Even when it's up like that, you're still looking at it like that. Yeah? You're not looking at it like this. Your wreath's not going to sit up like that. That line right there will be the very top. Let's straighten it up and make sure it's nice and straight. That will be the very top. So if you wanted to, you could do that with your butterfly. He's fallen down. You could do it like that. It's a little bit, once again, a little bit of a disheveled mess. So if you change your mind at how you set it out, that is fine, okay? Just remember what you will need for this tutorial. Now I'm going to take the magnet off my little heart. I'm going to rip it off right before we're ready to attach it. And then I'm going to use some leftover yarn that I found in my stash, which is the same yarn but a different dye lot, to sew it down, and you won't be able to tell. Yeah, all the ends that you see here, not all of them are going to be used to sew it down. Some of them are just going to have to weave in because it's way too much. Once we start attaching, you'll find you'll be able to adjust it a little more to squish it further in. So like for argument's sake here, it just takes up so much space. You might be able to work it out to angle it on a different angle to lose some of that space, yeah? So you can fit the rest of the gear in. All right, so as you can see on the table, I have some safety pins there. I also have some over here. And you will need the safety pins. It just sort of holds it in place for you while you are sewing, yeah? Also, if you want to use the safety pins to attach, then I'll show you how to do that and you won't need to sew. So you can remove your items maybe around Christmas and just turn it into a Christmas wreath. Yeah. Anyway, we're actually going to put one Christmas project there. Make sure you've got a finger space on this side, and towards the end of the year you need a finger space on that side so we can have all of that free for what I'm going to make. What's it going to be, I hear you ask? You'll find out then. In the meantime, let's get on with start attaching our pieces. Alrighty guys, so here we have our balloons. Now they're not sitting correct. Now there's many ways you can do the balloons. Let's give you a nice close-up. You can leave them like that if you like, and a little bit like that. Just remember your strings here, the base of it was not placed on an angle, so you could actually pop yours up like that. And just being wary again that your strings weren't placed on an angle. Either way, you need to leave yourself a finger away from the line, yeah, the sewing line or sewing seam, and just, I would say something like that would be nice. Doing it like this means you would probably have to attach it to the last piece. All right, so my suggestion would be, if you are pinning yours down, pin your pieces to your last one, so you get the base of your you start from here, go from the top of your blue or whatever color yours is, and the it's awkward, and then the we're getting there, give me a second, it's hard to do with the camera in a way, guys, I'm so sorry. The base of the top of your pink going downwards. Ow, don't pin yourself like I just did. Don't pin yourself there. Now you need to be able to do it so that you can hide that pin so you don't see it, right? So my suggestion would do it the way you think you can hide it, right? And then you do the same to your green, separating it like that on your green. And then when you get your green done with your safety pin, you can actually attach. Now the reason I'm not doing the safety pin is because I want to sew. Once you get your pieces attached, which we're going to do first with the sewing needle, once you sew them together like that, then and only then can you sew it to your piece. All right, so I'm hoping that made sense. So grab yourself a sewing needle. We're going to remove the wreath for now because it's only in our way. That's much better. We can see now. So just flip it where you put your safety pin. Yep. Grabbing your, I don't know, let's say the blue, pink, any colour you like. You can actually grab a new colour and use that if you want. I think I'll leave the blue. We'll just see which one's the longest thread because we're going to use that thread to attach your piece to the wreath. I couldn't get it out then, guys, could I? Come on, Mary, you can do this. Right, so that's where you want your pink and your blue to be. It's going to be like that, remember? So you want to start with your blue and your pink. I find that a little bit too close, the pink. We might move it over a bit more, yeah? So I'm going to leave the pin there. All right, so all you need to do now is just grab your little sewing needle, whatever you may have. I mean, I've got this little turn-up thing. You're better off using a normal sewing needle, which I had here somewhere. But once again, I don't know how these things go missing. I've got a whole tub specifically for YouTube. Do you think I can find that tub? It's not a big tub. It's a tiny little tub. So there you go. All right, so now we're going to start attaching to the blue. The idea is to get the back stitch of the blue. If you get the front stitch, it's going to be noticed. So grab a back stitch and very gently just leave it over like that. Don't pull it like I just did. Yeah. And then all you're going to do, I want to make sure that's open though. I don't want it too close. Yeah. That's probably too close. I might take that undone. That's not, we need to get it a little bit closer. If it's too far away, it's going to pull and you don't want that. So yours truly did make a mistake. Let's try that again. Excuse me. Yeah, maybe we should have used the blue, but it doesn't matter. All right, so continue to find some threads at the back. This is the back of your balloons, remember? Not the front. Continue to find some thread at the back. And just very little. You don't want to have your needle showing through the front, yeah? So just very little. We're getting close to the blue now, so it's going to be a lot easier. All right, so what we're going to do is just grab the back of any stitch in the blue. Like that, yeah? Turn it a little bit. Well, firstly, take out that pin. You don't need it there anymore. Safety pin, if you can get it out without everything collapsing like it's just done. Come on, Mary, you can do this. All right, so you're there. So pop your sewing needle in one of the threads of your pink, two, even two like that. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front. Yeah. So pop it through like so. Back into the back of a blue thread. Somewhere. Somewhere. Right there. Don't worry too much if you can see it on the blue thread there, because that's going to be under your pink, so you won't notice it as much, yeah? But what I do want you to do is slide your sewing needle as close to the end of the pink that you can. Not too close. Let's see where it is. We are right there, yeah? So pop that through there, like so. Yep. Then you're going to pop your needle through the blue, literally through the blue, like that. Turn it around, take that little blue thread out the way, and just grab some of the pink through here. We've probably gone a little bit, I haven't gone through it enough, so let's just bring the blue up a little bit more. You're not going to see this, it's going to be attached. My thread is too small. And then what you're going to do, once you've gone through that blue, you want to reattach to your pink, yeah? Right on the edge of a stitch, anywhere you like, yeah? Pop it through like so. And initially, your pink and your blue is attached. You're not going to have any more problems. However, this may occur, all right? You don't need to worry about the base. I would leave the base, yeah? I would work on bringing your little thread a little bit higher on the blue, like so. Then a little bit higher on the pink, anywhere you feel the need to go, like so. And once again, a little bit higher on the blue. Let's see if we can find some blue to go into right down there. Yep. And then your pink. I can get it through some more thread there, right there. And you're good to go. Now with this tiny piece of thread, you can help attach to your wreath later. For now, we're going to leave it out. All right, leave it out. What you've done initially is just attach your peach to your blue. Now what I want you to do is do the exact same thing with the blue onto the green. Now the idea is to attach it the way you want. If you want to attach it where it's really overlapping, that's fine. Me, I'm going to kind of spread it out a little bit. Just remember your threads. You can just grab your threads, straighten it up, attach it with a safety pin once again, and use that as a guide. So I've straightened it up. Oh, did you see that? I straightened it up like that. And then you're attaching your blue the same way we did with the pink. You're attaching your blue to the green. All right, I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me do that. What I want you to do is grab a thread anywhere you like, doesn't matter. Attach your blue to your green. Meet me back here, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here are my pieces. They're all attached, yeah? If you're anything like me, you'll find that your threads are a little small. You might want to grab a new thread, weave them in completely and grab a new thread and start that way, right? I'm going to try and work with them, hopefully, hopefully. All right, I may have to remove my needle and then put it through some pieces and then pop, rethread it a few times, right? But in the meantime, let's get a small one. If we decide to use our safety pin to attach, let's give you a nice close up here. Make sure you give yourself like a little finger space, like that. You can decide whether you want it to be attached that way, yeah, and have the threads that way, but I know it's going to affect anything else I put there. So I'm going to leave my balloons taking up a bit of space. At the end of the day, it was my birthday and I want to show off my birthday, right? So that's the way I want it to go. So turn your little piece, your little wreath around and work from the back. All right. Now let's just assume that you're using safety pins. So you need to weave in all your ends, right? Your ends need to be weaved in. But if you're using your threads, don't weave your ends in because you're going to use your threads to attach to your wreath. Yeah. So grab your safety pin and your best bid really is to go through it's either go through the wreath first and then your piece. I find it easier making sure you've weaved in these ends if you're going to use safety pins. To go through a little bit of this piece first. It goes like that there. Then you find a little bit of the wreath, like that, just a very little, and then you find a little bit more of your piece. And you're going through the back of your green, so your blue is not affected and it's attached. So let's say if we did it like that, and it's dangling, you're going to see it, but don't matter because you're going to pop your neck safety pin behind the blue. And not just that, you're going to pop another safety pin on the base of your balloon as well. If you want to get pedantic, you would pop one there as well, or this is going to turn up. So my suggestion would be to do exactly the same thing, face it that way, start your safety pin there, pop it through some green, and then pop it through some of your balloon. You may need to use smaller safety pins. These are way too big. I don't have any small ones in stock. So let's just assume these are small, yeah? And once you've got one on the top, one on the side, you need to put another one on that side, and then I would leave the pink and the green like that, and maybe just attach the blue, yeah, with your safety pin. Or you can attach the pink with your safety pin, the blue and the green. You can put safety pins everywhere. This way it doesn't move. Yours truly is going to be threading hers, sewing hers to the piece. Which I find, let's try that again. Ow! Don't pin yourself, guys. Every time I use needles or sewing needles or safety pins or whatever, I pin myself. So don't do it. Oh, she's crying. All right, so you like that? She's crying. All right, so I'm going to start to sew mine on. Now this is going to take forever, guys, so bear with me. All right, so just thread one of your pieces. Doesn't matter which one it is. Yep. And you can start threading, making sure, actually, you know what, forget it. Let's do the green. You want to keep it, your finger away from there, yeah? So the green needs to go on first, all right? And once again, you don't necessarily, I'm threading my needle here. I'm trying to do this off air and on air at the same time. All right, once again, you don't necessarily have to sew the whole piece down. You can just sew the top bit down and leave the rest dangling. That's another way of doing it, right? But yours truly, I'm a little pedantic. And it looks like I'm going to need to find some other thread because this is not going to cut it. This is going to take a little bit up the top, across the top, and that's it. So what I might do is use my thread to attach all of the top bits. If it looks okay unattached, we might leave the base unattached. It might look okay, but I doubt it. Okay, so grab your little piece. There's your green thread. You want it to attach to your wreath. So just pop your needle in there, making sure that when that thread hits that part there, you still have a finger left, and I don't. So I'm going to move it over a little bit, maybe move it a little higher. That might help. So if that green was to be attached there, do I have my finger? Well, almost, not yet, still too far. Let's go a little higher. If my green was to be attached there, do I have my finger? Still not enough. And it's a finger, guys. You don't have to fuss too much, right? Because it's just enough to pop our Christmas item in. So your green, when it's attached, will go there, and there's your finger. I reckon that's plenty. All right, so there it is. If you grab your little needle, pulling it through, your green will attach. And if you're still not happy, unattach it and start again. But that looks good to me, yeah? That looks exactly one finger. Even when I sew it down, it'll be like one finger, all right? Now, I want to keep mine a little bit lower as well. So the deal is to go right through. I'll turn it around, and I'll bring it up a little so you can see. All right. So I want to go through the back of some green thread. Now, if you want, you can go through the whole piece and just sew over it with the green, and it won't be too noticeable. But yours truly, I really am very pedantic and fussy. Once again, you see me move it because I realised it wasn't going to make my finger. If I kept sewing this way, across here, there's like I've lost my finger, yeah? So I moved it up a little bit. We can play with the other pieces later, yeah? And now I'm going to continue to thread my piece into the wreath. Anywhere you like in the wreath. I'm not even in frame. Let's try it again. Anywhere you like in the wreath. Yeah. As long as you're not moving your piece over. Notice how I'm going downwards because I want to keep my piece straight. So we're going to find a piece of thread on our little balloon. Just check that you can't see the needle. Doesn't matter even because this is the same colour. There. All right. So your job is to continue to do that all the way until you get down to whenever your thread runs out. In the meantime, mine's already running out. Let's take that blue out of there. Mine's already running out. So I'm going to tie a knot and add another piece of green and continue in the round. So the way you do that is a real tricky, and you've probably seen me do it once before. Oh, my thread is really small, so it's not going to work, I don't think. It's not going to work. All right, so what you really do is wrap your thread around your needle a few times. I'm going to have to do this off air because I need to rethread it. This is if you're finished or you need to change your thread. I can't do this from far away. So let's just assume that's threaded in there. When you pull that through, give it a tug and you'll have a tiny little knot there. Leave it there, grab a new piece of thread. Alrighty guys, so what I did was I didn't exactly weave in all the ends. I weaved them in a little bit inside and then just cut them shorter. And what I did was I found some thread the same colour, and I'm just going to go on the inside with it like that, leaving, not that much, leaving, I'm not too far away, leaving a little tiny piece here so that I can weave that through later. Yeah, or maybe we can just leave it like that and weave it down the bottom later. That's probably better. Let's bring it through a little bit. The thread you needed was, I don't know, that long, and then double it. The reason is you're going to go all the way around there down to the base, and then you're going to weave that end in. You just need a bit of a tail to weave that in, that's all. That's me being pedantic. Yeah. Now before you continue, remember, give yourself that one finger, right? I noticed as I was working before, it was moving up like that and it was going to end up to be less than a finger. So make sure you give yourself the finger here. Later you can actually adjust it to suit, but I think even, you know, a little bit more than a finger's just as good. We can always adjust the other ones further down that way. All the other ones can be adjusted, but here I need that much space, at least, I don't know, 2 rows of half double, even 3. 1, 2, 3 rows of half double, if that helps. I think we did half double. I'm trying to remember. Well, hang on. Have we attached to the piece yet? No, not yet. We've attached to the we've attached to the green. Now we want to attach to the actual wreath like that. So it is a little fiddly. Leave your tail nice and loose there. Nice and loose. I want to say nice and loose. You want to, where is it? Just pull it at the back and maybe use your pieces to hold it down for now. And then later we will attach it and weave that in. Okay, so once again, you attach to your piece anywhere you feel necessary. I can't see through the lens here. Like that. Again, if you wanted to go through your whole piece, through each stitch, if you find that easier, by all means go through it. All right. So for now, we're going to keep going like that, finding another little piece on the wreath that we can go through. You can go through the whole thing on the wreath. It doesn't matter. If you're keeping yours attached, it doesn't matter if you go through full stitch. Yeah. And just be careful. I can see it moving again. We don't want it to move. We want it to stay nice and straight. Get into that stitch there. That's a lot of fiddling around there, wasn't it? So get into that stitch there and then straight down into your wreath. Now we're going downwards because if we keep going this way, we're going to move our piece over. We want to go down. All right. So now that is shaped to go down one finger. If you're still not happy, edge it a little bit more and go further down that way. All right, rather than this way, go that way. You'll work it out as you go along, and again, if you make a mistake, take the 2 threads undone, pull it out of your needle and then reattach. Don't keep going in the assumption that it's going to straighten up. Yeah, but I think we're okay now. This is where we have to start getting fiddly with our wreath. We're going to go down with our wreath. Not straight across, but down. All right, so it might pay to do it this way now because we can see better. Maybe, oh no, I can't. I still can't see better. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do because I can't see really from here. Your best bid, if you're worried about going crooked, stick a safety pin down here and keep going all the way down there. All right, so I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me fiddle with this big piece on air. Keep sewing along here, in and out of your wreath and in and out of your piece to about there. Don't do the whole base, and I'll explain why in a minute. Just go down to about there, and I'll meet you there once you're done. Remember, about 2 or 3 stitches off the tail end, okay? And I'll meet you back here once you're done. Alrighty guys, here I am at the end, and I'm down here where I said I would be. I haven't completed, but I'm going to complete my balloon because I'm finding it sticking up. And it's because we're on an angle of our wreath. So I'm going to complete the balloon right down to the tail. Then I'm going to bring my thread back up to here, leave it there, open it up, and weave it all in the back of the green, right? Then I'm going to weave that tail in, thread the needle with that tail and weave that in. The reason I'm telling you this is because I'm going to do it all on fast motion. So I want you to do exactly the same. All right, so I've checked my little piece and I still have my one finger, only just one finger. We really should use measuring tapes, but there you go. Never mind. All right, so I'm going to do this on air, but I'm going to do it on fast. Place the video on fast. You can slow it down if you like. It's just a little bit fiddly for me on slow. All right, so off we go. Alright guys, just wanted to stop that fast motion to let you know I've gone to the base of the piece. Now I'm going to bring those other pieces over and work up just a little bit, not too much, because your blue is going to be covering it and your pink will be covering your blue and so on. So we're going to work, not that far up, going to keep going all the way up to about, I don't know, I'll tell you now so you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches up of the green, and off we go. Alright guys, here I am. I don't know how high up I am, but we'll see. Maybe just that one more stitch up. I haven't really hit my 4th stitch anyway, so we're going to go right up to the back of the green there, and then I'm going to turn my work over and just weave in a little bit of this end. Not too worried about it not being knotted. I'll kind of just weave it in a little bit through some threads of the wreath and weave it back. I'm not too worried about it being noticed because it won't be. Once we attach the blue and the pink, that's going to be hidden. So I'm not even going to tie it in a knot. I've just weaved that into the green because I'll show you quickly what's going to happen now. So you know, once you pop that green over, you're going to now attach the blue. Starting from wherever you want to start from. I think starting from the base at this stage, and we'll do the same thing that we did with the green, going up to about, even the blue doesn't need much. You're only going from there to there. Then you want to weave it all the way up the top and then do the top bit. All right, before we do the blue, we're going to weave that other green in. Remember the green we had here? That we don't need to do much with. Rethread your needle, which I think I've split, and yes, I have. Look at that. This is why I like to thread the needles off air. They drive me batty. Rethread your needle, like so. And just, see, I've still got the greens attached in there. I'm not worried. Just attach it in a little tiny piece there, and then go into your wreath. You don't have to worry about over weaving these ends in, because you're going to have your blue is going to be on top of it, and it's going to be attaching your blue down as well. So don't fuss too much. It's not going to come undone unless you want it to come undone. Like you may want it to come undone, but see how I've only gone through twice? I wouldn't fuss too much. Now attach your new blue thread. So you want to start to attach your blue here. Instead of worrying about attaching all this, you don't need that anymore. You just need to attach your blue here, yeah? Make sure your tails are nice and however you want them to be. So your job is to pop your blue thread under your green, but a little bit higher than where you're going to start. So you popped it under your green, like that. Leave yourself a little tail for weaving in ends. Again, I wouldn't fuss too much. Oh no, actually your little tail has to be long. So leave a long tail and grab that tail. I wanted to grab that tail and pop it at the back, like so. Pop your piece over and give yourself a nice long tail, because you're going to use this tail to attach the top bit. It's just a little trick that I learned a little bit earlier before coming on air, literally just before coming on air. You're going to attach your needle to your blue here. Don't pull because this is still not attached, yeah? So just a gentle, just leave yourself enough to go around here, all right? So you're going back into your piece, which will be, firstly, your green. So you're going back into the green, like so, if you can get it, there. Make sure you're not going over these threads, move them out the way for a minute. Into your little light green balloon, and then you're going straight into your wreath. Anywhere you like, it doesn't matter, yeah? Anywhere. Then bringing it down and start working into your blue again. All right, back down into the wreath. It is very fiddly. I even think I might pop this on fast. I don't know, right up to there, right up to until we get to my finger there, and off we go. So we've gotten to this stage here. Now I've kind of probably pulled mine a little bit too far over, but that's okay because your pink is going to cover it anyways, yeah? So now your deal is to weave this end in, and you can weave it anywhere you like because it's not going to be noticed. It's actually inside the pink, yeah? So it won't be noticed at all. Weave it in and out of the greens, it doesn't matter, yeah? Leave it there, give it a cut. Literally, I didn't even knot it, all right? Because it's not going to come undone, because now we're going to attach the very last thread that we had here. Remember that one that I said leave nice and long for me? Yeah. And all we're going to do, probably the best bit is to actually come up a little bit because I think we're probably too low. So just very lightly in and out of a few threads at the back. Very, very lightly. Make sure you can't see the needle from the front, yeah? Going up, yeah, all the way. Gentle tug, not too much. Otherwise it'll pull. Any threads you like, just some light threads, yeah? So we're up the top close to the green. We're not there yet. We're going to go right up to the green, right there. And now we start attaching the blue down this way. All right, go down into the green like that. And way up into your blue. Any threads you like. Any threads. Remember to keep it nice and straight though, yeah? You don't want to be popping it over here and then popping it over here. That's, you know, a little bit too far, or down there, it's too much. As close as you can get to your green. Now we're going straight into the wreath. like so. I didn't think this tutorial was going to go a long time. We might have to do this over 2 days, I think. So, I think we're going to have to do it over 2 days. Since we're not able to get our vest out tomorrow, I did say we weren't going to be able to get it out tomorrow. I had a very busy week this week, inundated week. So there you go. All right, so we're almost there. There you go. All right, so if you wanted to, you could stop there because your pink is going to go over your blue. But I want to hide my tail, so I'm just going to go into some of the wreath like this. Don't pull too tight because otherwise it'll bring it down. You don't want to. And then just, no one's going to see this because it's under your pink. You pop it through some of your blue, unless you popped it through your pink as well. No. Make sure you don't do that. All right. And then you can go straight back into your blue, making sure you can't see the needle. You can't. And that's it. Cut it. Cut it right there because your pink is going to be sewing over it. Rethread your pink once again. You can start anywhere you like. I think my preference is to start from the base only because we can attach down our balloons from the top later. All right, so I just would like to lower it a little bit, bring the pink down just that little tiny bit. Yeah, and once again we're going to start from the base. Pop your, what did we do before? We went like this, didn't we? We went into the blue or green from before actually, and into the green like that, which is now the blue. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to make that tail real long. Make the long tail long and keep it at the back. But you still need, with this one here, you need the pink to go all the way up. So maybe you don't need such a long tail. You do need to be able to weave that in. All right, so leave it available for you to weave in later. All right, now before you put it in the pink, make sure your tails are out the way. Yeah. Find some pink. I just want to bring that pink over a little bit and down a little bit. Yeah, so find wherever your piece is there in a little tiny bit of pink. Not much because it's a little bit further out, isn't it? We want to bring our pink down a bit. Don't pull too much or your tail is going to come out like I just did. Keep it there for now. Bring it through some of the blue, and you are going to do that because you need to attach all your pink down, otherwise it's going to stick out. You don't want that. Again, being careful not to attach with your threads, yeah? Okay, so grab some more pink. Any pink you like. Making sure that you're happy with the way it's going, yeah? Lift it back up again. What we're going to do now from here, we're going to go right into the little bit of the wreath. All right, I hope all this is making sense. There. Now you can start going back into your pink. So you're no longer going into the blue. We're straight into the pink and then straight into the wreath. However you want to do it. In a minute I'm going to pop this on fast, but I'm going to get down to the base here. Just get this part here done. The base is right there. You want to make sure it's done because it sticks up a little bit. So we're almost there. So we're almost having our little piece go down. Almost makes the pink look bigger, doesn't it? And really it's not. You want to pop it down into the very last base and then you're going to start going up. So that's the base of your green right there. That's it. Oh, did I lock it into place? Oh no. No, I didn't. Good, that's it. So now your threads should be out, not tucked in. They should be out, yeah? Then you're going up and around. So this is where I could actually say to you to head off on your own, right? I'll start you off to get to about here, and then the rest you know, because you've done a lot of it, all right? So maybe I'll start you off, and we'll pop this on fast too, so you can actually see how I do this. So pop, oh, it's already in the green, isn't it? We want to go into the pink now. Again, you're finding some thread of the pink that you're going into. and start going up with your wreath, wherever you want to pop your pink. Being careful, that looks like it's too far out. It's going to start to pull your gear over, and you don't want that. You need space for everything else. All right, so what I want you to do, I don't think you need to watch me do this part. You know what you're doing. What I want you to do is weave all this in right up to the very top. Get to about there before closing up shop. In fact, don't even go there. Go right here and leave yourself a little space, and then we'll use this one to weave in the rest. All right, head off on your own. Do that right there, and I'll meet you here once you're done. Alrighty guys, I asked you to get to around here somewhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually complete a little bit here, cast off, and then use the rest of this to do the rest. I might move over a little bit because there's not a lot of that pink. I didn't give myself enough. So I'm going to do a little bit more. Just keep going in through your piece like so. It's taking such a long time, isn't it? This is just the first bit, but this was a hard one to do. You know, it wasn't as easy as the other ones. Like that love heart's going to be so easy. And before we do the heart, we're going to be doing some measuring, and I'll explain that in a minute. And let's go right over here, there, and here. All right, so I've got just very, let's get a close up so you can see, just very minimal left, which is perfect for this little tiny. In fact, you know what I might do? I might finish off with this. I'm going to take this off because I think I've gone too far down, to be honest with you. I'm going to weave that in. I think that's my best bid. So what I'm going to do is just cut that little piece there, because I think this is too small anyway. I left, my end was way too small. So I'm just going to weave this in. So what we're going to do is just weave it in a couple of little pink threads there, like that. Then weave it down into some of the green. Make sure I'm in frame. Hello, Mary. Like that. This is just getting rid of the tail, seriously. It's not doing anything, it's getting rid of your tail. There. Back into the green, can go all the way through. It doesn't matter. It's not going to come undone because we are going to keep going further down this way. That's probably not cut enough. There. All right, it's not going to come undone at all unless you toss the whole thing in the washing machine. But I don't know if you're going to wash something like that, really. How much dust can it get? Really? All right, so now your job is to finish off all of this. Yeah, I'm going to pop this on fast. And now we're going to go right into the blue. Right, so just under the green, into the blue like so. And then you're going into some of your pink, which is right here. Oops. Come on, Mary, you can do this. There. All right. Now you can go down in and weave your end right into your piece all the way through. And I would actually go through quite a bit and then down into your piece. Pulling it through like that, and then just giving your tail a bit of a tug, cutting it, and then when you pull that back, that tail disappears. All right, and what you have is, by doing this, you may have found that you have stretched it a little bit too much and you're taking up too much room here. Before you start your next piece, the best bid is to reset everything again. Now, I did that off air, so I'm not going to bother doing that. And your job would be to like start all over again with your pieces, you know, popping your heart up the top and your little, you know, butterfly there, and then start resetting everything. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get you started on the love heart. Now, as you know, our love heart, This one here was recorded a couple of years ago maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've popped a link to this particular heart in the description box down below because we initially did this one here and I'm finding it way too big and I am running out of space on my wreath already, and I've only attached one. One thing. So I'm going to turn it around where we had, I hope this can come off the magnet without doing anything, taking off that magnet. Now, if you were going to make this, you could attach a magnet. If you don't attach a magnet, make your threads really long so that you can attach this to the piece. All right, so there's a piece of thread. We're going to rethread our needle again. Now this is the same red as what we've used here, but it's the different dye lot. So it's going to be a little noticeable if I sew it on the top. Once again, I'm not going to be sewing it on the top. I'm going to be doing what I've done here and everything underneath. I'm going to have my threads hidden. Now, okay, before, I can't remember how I had everything, roughly, but I'm pretty sure I had the heart a little bit up the top, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Now you can attach it anywhere you like. You can put it up higher, you can put it lower, you can pop it just under the balloon if you like, wherever you feel fit. I'm going to leave mine just a little bit above, but on an angle where you can actually see the heart. And again, the heart is going to be stuck down. You don't have to have yours tied down if you don't want to. Once again, if you're going to use the safety pin, I would just safety pin it because it's such a small piece. Let's try it in the green first. I would safety pin it in the center. Yeah, like that. You need smaller safety pins. These are really big. Don't use the big ones, yeah? If you can find small ones, by all means, go and get some small ones, yeah? But I've got these really ginormous ones here. They're way too big. I know I've got a set of tiny little gold pins somewhere, safety pins somewhere, and they're really, really tiny, and I know I can use them, but I can't find them. It's like anything, guys. I put them somewhere and I leave them, and here we go. Let's start our heart. I'm going to leave it a little tiny bit on the pink. Now what we're going to do is pop the needle under the pink a little bit, like that. Leaving once again a little thread. I'm going to leave a bit of a longer thread. The difference is this thread here can go all the way around the heart. We don't need to do all this, what we did with the balloons, all right? So you pretty much know what you're doing here. I'm so sure of it, you are. But we're going to try it anyway. We're going to go down because the heart's going to sit like that. So we're just going to go down there. So I'm going to pop it in, some threads at the top of the heart, like that. Perfect. So when it pulls through, it's sitting like that. Oh no, I want it to go further down. Oh, we'll take that out and do it again. We might need to go a bit higher up on the balloon. See, it's all about trial and error, isn't it? And we're going down that way. So let's, yeah, like that. So we're going to go, there we go. I think we've got it now. Down the heart. Right there. All right. So that's pretty much the way I want my heart to go, like that. I might leave it further down this way. And this thread later we can use to tie up there, I think. All right, are we ready to go? We can do this on fast, or we can head off on our own and do it. I don't know what's best. Let's just pop it through to pink for now so you can see what I'm doing. I think you know what I'm doing because you've done this before. And then you just go into the top loop of one of your threads in the heart again. All right, so just keep doing that. I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me. It'll take forever. Just keep doing that with your heart all the way down. Get past, you know what, we'll do the pink together. It's not that far. Once we get past the pink, you're on your own. You're on your own, guys. Once we get past the pink. All right, here we go. So we're going down into the pink. And I actually think I've caught some of the green there. It's really awkward for me to show you this on air. It really is. It's a lot easier for me to do it off air. Hello, it really is. Oop, don't pull too hard or your thread's coming out. What we might do is go right down from the pink and into the green. Oh no, there's still got a lot to go. Let's go a little bit more of the pink here. Otherwise it's not gonna sit right if you rush through each stitch. And we're gonna move this over and find some thread. Okay. Then I think we can come off the pink. That's it. We'll come off the pink and we'll go straight into your green thread here, anywhere you like, yeah? Remember, you're still going down because your heart is going down still. There. So find a little bit of your heart thread here, in there, anywhere you like, and off you go, doing your heart. Take out that hair, you won't need it there. Listen to me, take the hair out. All right, so I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me do this. I want you to keep doing your heart all the way around. Get to the top here. We're going to do this one through this way. The only reason is I'm a little bit worried about this corner here. Or maybe we won't. You know what, we won't. Take your needle out. That's what we're going to do. Take your needle out. Your thread out of your needle. Really troubling needle to thread. Here we go. We're under control. So what you're going to do is weave this end in so that you can bring that other end around, yeah? So what we're going to do is just go back into the red, like so, and just bring your tail in. Make sure it's underneath your piece. Oh, not too tight. You don't want to bring that down, yeah? Under your piece, you might want to grab a little bit of the red here. Just a little, not much. You don't want it pulling under there. Yeah, and then again just a little bit into the green under the heart. Yeah, give it a cut. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit sticking because your next piece is going to cover it. Yeah, all right, so rethread your needle from the first thread that you did. I think what we're better off doing is weaving in our end first. There we go, like that. All right, so weaving in our end first. Now your job, I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me do it. Continue to do this to the point, yeah, then go up like we did with our balloon. Go up, go all the way around, get into this center point here, right there. Get into that point there. Stop right there and I'll meet you here and we'll finish off together. All right, head off, do all that now, get right here and I'll meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, here we go, right here at the end. I'm very, very, very close. Now I asked you to get into there. You're probably struggling to get in, but I'm going to go in anyway and see how I go. I told you it was going to be awkward. So see how close you can get in. Like that. You can stop right there if you like and just weave in the end if you want. You can do that. That's fine. But I want to really close up everything at the back there. Now we still have that little bit there. That's the reason why I wanted to get in. Okay, what we're going to do is see if we can go right in and under the center section or just after the center section like that. And then we're going into the green. Now we're going to come down a bit on the green because this is coming up, yeah? So we're going to come down a bit on that one stitch of the green. Make sure you don't knot it. Like that. Then you're going back up into a stitch. Any stitch you like, doesn't matter. There you go. And there's your heart closed up the top there. Now you're going into the green, but we want to be careful. We're going to go under the green like that. I think that's the best way of doing it. And there you go. Then we're going back into one of your red threads right there. All right, now what you want to do is you want to, even though we've already stitched over some of the red there, you want to close it up. So we're going to go into a pink right there. and through to the red that we've already started, you know, the one that we started earlier. So you can close up shop. Once you've done, you want to weave this in. How are you going to weave this in, I hear you ask? Easy. Just pop it through your work. Like that. Don't put it through any of the red. Just pop it through under the green, like that. And again, back under the green and right through to the other side there. And if I were you, I would go like really high up so it doesn't, like really high up so it doesn't go through any of the green. Through there, like that. Guess what? One more time. Because we're not doing anything with this red. So what we're going to do is bring it out the base of the green. Yeah. Pull it right through. Give it a tug. And then cut it. Notice how I'm pulling everything? Because when you do that, that tug, once you give it a pull back down, it'll hide inside your heart. And there is 2 of your pieces on. Alrighty guys, we're going to call it there for now. What we'll do on the very next tutorial, we'll actually replace each one of our items and I will pop it on fast. And you can actually slow that down if you like. But for now, I'm going to leave it here. Now, the best part now is if you are confident enough to do the rest on your own, then by all means you can do that. Otherwise, meet me back here on Friday week and we will actually put the rest of the pieces on and we'll do a lot of that in fast motion. I'll start you off in the middle and then I'll get you to do the rest in like fast motion. So you'll see me going fast, but you'll take your time, okay? So I'm just going to call it there for now. I just wanted to get you started so you know exactly where everything goes. I hadn't realized how long those balloons were going to take, but there you go. In the meantime, thank you for joining me, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do all the wonderful things that you guys always do for me. Remember to, if you wanted to create this particular wreath, the second link in the description box down below is a playlist to the whole wreath. Start from the base and work your way all the way up to the top of that playlist and you will be where we are today. So thank you very much for joining me and ciao for now.